Hi, Stuart Lowry, President and CEO, Sunflower Electric Power Corporation again. Since February's cold weather event, the most frequently asked question is about the cost of electric service during the event, and that's certainly understandable. You've probably read or heard by now that the February cold weather emergency was very expensive and could be costly to ratepayers, and I think that's going to be true. In this video, I'd like to explain some of the drivers behind the high costs we experienced during the event. First, I want to make a couple of points that I really want to emphasize. One is that Sunflower is responsible for the wholesale generation and transmission services provided to the 7 owners of Sunflower: Prairieland, Lane Scott, Victory, Pioneer, Southern Pioneer, Western, and Wheatland. The high costs that we incurred were due to the high cost of energy required to serve the electric load of our member owners. By operating our own resources and selling those resources into the SPP energy market, Sunflower was able to offset about 65% of the energy costs that would otherwise have been incurred. The remaining costs, even after that offset, are historically high, and Sunflower's 7 members have committed to protecting their members from the rate shock of this one-time event by spreading the cost over an extended period of time. So why were the costs so high during this event? There are several reasons. First of all, extremely cold temperatures led to higher than normal electric demand. The cold also impacted the generation resources that would normally serve that demand, and the fuel supply to run some of those generation resources. During the event, practically every available generating unit in the entire SPP region was operating, including more natural gas generation than would typically be the case at this time of year. Natural gas is also used for home heating in this part of the country. This increased the overall demand for natural gas as a fuel. Supply of natural gas became limited for a number of reasons. Some of those related to the cold and the inability of working wells or gas pipelines to function as they normally would. This increased demand and decreased supply drove the cost of natural gas up to historic levels. The graph you're going to see illustrates this point very well. The blue line on the graph shows what Sunflower paid for natural gas for the month of February, measured in million BTUs, or British thermal units. Early in the month, we could purchase gas at a normal cost of about $3 per million BTUs. By February 12th, you can see that the price jumped to almost $30 per million BTUs. At its highest point, when Sunflower made a purchase, the price was over $300 per million BTUs. And there were periods of time during the event when Sunflower was not purchasing natural gas that the price went to nearly $999 a million BTU. The extraordinary increase in electric prices was driven in large part by historically high gas prices for the fuel needed to run natural gas generating plants. You'll also notice a series of orange bars on the graph for each day of the month. Those bars represent the cost incurred for coal, the fuel that runs Holcomb Station, during the entire month of February, also on a million BTU basis. Our ability to secure coal at a low price of $1.58 per million BTUs allowed us to run Holcomb Station and saved ratepayers millions of dollars in addition to keeping the lights on. Sunflower's board of directors plans for market volatility, but we've never experienced an event like this one. Our board understands the importance of having fixed price resources to protect ratepayers from market volatility. We do this through 2 types of energy that we can secure at fixed prices over a longer period of time: coal and wind. As I've explained, long-term natural gas prices are subject to competition and market volatility that don't make gas an ideal resource for managing volatility. Holcomb Station performed exactly as expected and effectively hedged about 65% of the energy required during the event from high market prices. Wind output during the event was low, both due to low winds and cold weather problems with some of the wind generating units. Had the wind been operational, we would have hedged an additional 15 to 20% of the market exposure for the price of energy. Despite the stellar performance of Holcomb Station, Sunflower incurred significantly higher costs than normal in the SPP energy market, and those costs eventually show up in the electric rates that all of you pay. The energy piece of your electric bill, a piece managed by Sunflower, is typically no more than 3 cents a kilowatt hour. During February, it was nearly 10 times that amount, or 30 cents. Sunflower's members recognize the impact these costs can have on the electric ratepayer, and they've committed to spreading the costs out over a period of time to minimize the impact on all of you that pay the electric bill. SPP has formed a working group to perform a comprehensive study of the February event. There will also be state-level inquiry into how the event played out. Sunflower and our members are going to be committed to following up with all of you as we learn more from these studies and how we can manage these risks going into the future.